In other news, Macy Gray is supposedly under fire because of her controversial comment she made about the trans community. She said that just because you change your body parts does not make you a woman. And she has caused an uproar in the trans community about that statement. So I know you ladies have had your thoughts on this topic. LB, Shari, what are your thoughts on that comment that she made?
Macy Gray is not wrong though. I This is gonna be something that probably does not make the masses happy. Because I know we're in the age of everything should be pro LGBT. But if I'm being honest, it's not the same. As Kelly said on our last show, we were talking about cis women, as they like to call it. We're not exactly the same. We don't have the same struggles. We don't have the same plights. It's different for us. And I understand that they have this sex that they feel like they were trapped in and there's something else. I get it. However, I think there's something to be said about a person who was born naturally a woman, who has always been a woman, and that they love being a woman. They're not going through the same stuff. Now, I know like recently they started this weird stuff where, well, I know it's not weird. I know people gonna get mad about that. They started this new concept of doing uterus transplants for people that are transgender. I am slightly offended by that. I know that trans people are going to be like, "How are you offended? It's happening to us."
It's not
I'm
gonna work
slightly
though.
offended
So
because there are women who, for whatever reason, were born a woman, love to be a woman, but they can't have children because they're had uterine cancer, they've had cervical cancer, they've had fibroids, they had all this stuff. It seemed like it was never an issue. Nobody ever considered giving those people a uterine transplant. But now that you have a person that's trans, now this is an option. But when those options weren't made available to natural women, so because of things like that, just because you may get a uterine transplant does not make you a woman. You don't understand going through hitting that first cycle of yours when you were a kid trying to figure out what to do, having to go through menstrual cramps every, like when you were, before you change, like anything, if you got birth control and it stopped it, more power to you. But you never had to go through that the whole thing of being a woman. It's not the same. I don't care what anybody says. It is not the same. That's all I'm gonna say because I'm gonna get in trouble if I say anymore.
guess what? Shots
I
fired.
want
Boom,
you
boom.
to,
I don't care. If I get
right,
in
I want
trouble.
you to
They gonna look back on this later on, say you transphobic. I do not care. Because let me tell you something. For some reason, everybody wants to talk and everybody wants to be a voice for the LGBT community, and they need voices. Cool. Everybody wants to be a voice for them, but guess what? You shouldn't get a voice. I mean, okay, let me reiterate that. Your voice should not drown out mine. You getting the things you want shouldn't impede on my rights. Period. If and let's be clear, there are a lot of things. Roe versus Wade just got reversed. People still trying to tell us what to do with our bodies. Y'all had a whole bill passed that tell people that they got to go by your pronouns. People can get fired for just simply saying the wrong thing to you and dead. They call it dead naming you, where before you were named Peter and now you want to go by Patricia, and people can dead get fired for that. But someone still is running around telling me what it is that I can do with my body. Not only that, when it comes to the LGBT rights, there are always women on their back, helping them, marching for them, speaking up for them. I never hear trans women fighting for women's rights. If we're so much women and so much like you, why every time it's something that has to do with a woman, it's crickets? You know why? Because it's still patriarchy, because you still got the man gene. I don't care what nobody says. I know trans people and they are cool. They are great. But let's be clear, we are not the same. I am a woman that have had 3 children. I am a woman that has been ostracized because I am a woman, told that I can't do this, you should do this, you should do this because of me being the gender that I am. So don't say that it's the same thing, especially when you as a trans woman get more rights than I ever could have gotten. Do you know why? Because at the core of it, you are still a man. You still have that power as a man to get the things that you want. But you choose. And then also, this whole thing, Macy Gray said, just because you say you're a woman, you're not a woman. That's the truth. Why is it that you think that a woman is a costume? It's not, oh, because I put on some nails today and I put on some makeup today, that's a woman. Many women don't wear makeup. Many women have no problem with putting on some khakis and a t-shirt and wearing that every day, but they're still a woman because they have the parts as a woman. Oh, and it's so it's so naive and so ignorant to think that just because you put this covering on and then you say this is what it is, that's what it must be. Then I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna paint my skin white and say I'm a white woman. Do that make me it? Nope. Is it gonna change? Nope. It does not make it. I think you discount the things and the struggles that the women go through by saying that we're the same when we're not. And then it tells me, and I'm gonna be honest, I blame some of the women that do march for trans rights. Trans rights should have trans rights, but I blame some of y'all because what you say is when you do that, you say, okay, if we're the same, that means that everything's okay over here, because everything that the trans people are getting, women are getting because they're the same. So that means that we don't have a separate plight that we also have because we're the same. Over here, we're getting what we need. So over here, that other woman, no, they don't exist. So they don't need anything else. You get rid of your plight. You get rid of the things that you need for you as a woman by saying that you're just like them over here. And it's not the truth. It's not, it's just not the truth. Certain things, medical, medicines, the way, a lot of things have to do with that biology. And I'm a woman. When I don't even want to sound, I swear, I feel like I'm ranting because I get so irritated with this. And people are probably going to say, oh, you're trans. That's because you're transphobic. You hate it. I don't hate nobody on this earth. Even the person who pisses me off the most, I do not hate them on this earth. But the simple fact is that I feel like you're almost saying that I don't exist, that I don't have an importance, even though I grow life. I bring life into this.
But I hate the term transphobic, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Phobic is a fear. We are not having a fear of because you have a disagreement on rights or a disagreement on whatever reason. And I hate the fact that when they say transphobic, they're saying that you have a fear. And I hate the fact that we don't counter in the fact, like, this is what used to irritate me about when people talk about the best chicken sandwich place in the world. I used to get mad at these people because of their viewpoints. But I was like, but y'all have to realize that company is Christian based. Mm-hmm. It's a Christian-based company. And if their religion tells them that they don't agree with something, how can you really be mad at them for having a particular viewpoint? And that's the problem with the whole transphobic phrase. It says sometimes if you have a viewpoint that is not the same as theirs, it's because you're fearful or because you hate them. It's not that. It's just you have a particular belief that you have always grown up with, and you cannot be mad at them because just like you believe that I am a person trapped inside of a body that does not belong to me, that person may have a belief that that's not something they fully agree with, but you can't be mad at them. Everybody is entitled to their own beliefs. I will never be mad at you for your beliefs, but I will be mad when you try to silence my beliefs because they don't match yours.
Exactly. And it's hypocritical. It's incredibly hypocritical. How are you going to tell me it's like, let me live in my truth, but I can't even live in my truth that is actually a reality. But you get to live in your truth, but I can't live in my truth. I can't say that you are not me. You are not me. You're not. That's the truth. It's not a truth. It's the truth. And there is a such thing, this whole thing where we want to have nuances, not even nuances. We want to, I get exploring different ideas, different motives, but some things are just law. Some things are just true. You got an XX chromosome. I got an XX chromosome. You got an XY chromosome. And with that uterine transplant thing, good luck with trying to get a uterine transplant. Because if you ain't got the tubes to plug to the toilet, it ain't going to fucking work. Period. You don't have the
So yeah.
hormones.
No, but that's what they give
Women,
them. The uterine transplant plants gives them the uterus and the fallopian tubes.
but it's like you can't. But it's like where it's gonna come out of.
And I hope
Where is it
No, because
gonna
they make
come out of?
vaginas for them. That you get a vagina when
But
you do
even
it. So
then, when women have babies that have the opposite blood type as them, a Rh negative, Rh positive, your body is going to fight against it. You know why? Because it's not supposed
and
to
as you
be.
putting something foreign in a body that's not supposed to be there.
So good luck with telling biology and science that you're supposed to be this, because it's not gonna work.
Right. So yeah, my sentiments, I agree with both you ladies. I agree with Macy Gray's comment. She actually is not against the trans community. The statement that she made is very accurate. I think anytime somebody goes, I think anytime somebody goes against them, it's all the transphobic or we're against them and everything like that. No, just like you're entitled to what you want to say, we are entitled to what we believe and what we want to say as well. You could change the parts. You can take the penis and put it in and make it look like a vagina. You can, but at the end of the day, when you as a man and you turn yourself physically into a woman, you still have to tell another man that you decide to be with why you can't procreate, why you can't have a baby necessarily and grow a baby in your womb when that man wants to. You still have to tell them that you were born a man.
And what I don't get is, if you're a woman and you can't have children, you are required, and you look that crazy if you don't tell your partner that you can't have kids, because they're allowed to have that option whether they want to continue with that relationship. Why is it different all of a sudden when it comes to a trans woman? Why do those things all of a sudden, all of these laws of being civil all of a sudden change because now you're trans and we have to tiptoe around your feelings? Feelings ain't facts. It just is what it is.
And I watched a guy on Dr. Phil, and he was asking one of the, I guess it was two people on there, but one, I don't know if both of them was trying to be trans women or whatever. But one of the trans women said that, womanhood is an umbrella. It's just a term. And they asked him, he asked him, well, what does it mean to be a woman? And he was like, I don't know. Well, how are you trying to be something that you don't even know what it is to be a woman? He said, you know that a female's DNA, a woman's DNA, when you die and somebody goes and digs up your body years from now, the way they're going to identify us is through our DNA. And they're going to be able to tell, they're not going to be able to see how we look. They're not going to say like, oh, I know that's a woman because her skeleton looked like a woman. No, it's down to our bones, our fiber, our DNA. They're going to look inside our bones and they're going to say, this was a woman. When that trans woman dies, when your DNA gets looked up, it's going to come that you were a male. It's never going to come up that you were a woman. You don't know what it's like to be a woman. And all you're trying to do is appropriate being a woman. You're trying to wear us like we are a costume because you can grow your hair or add hair. You can take hormones to grow breasts and fill out and look feminine and change your voice and change your body parts. And some of you trans men, trans women want to keep your man body part and still want to be called a woman. Now, we don't got the luxury of doing all that.
So that's why I don't understand. Why go to the extreme of saying I am a woman? Why go to that extreme? Why not just be like, okay, you grow your hair out, cool. You want to take some hormones to look more feminine? Cool. You want to wear a dress? Cool. You want to wear heels? Cool. You want to call yourself Sheila? Cool. But why go to the point where it's like you have to erase what the definition of a woman is? Right. Why go to that extreme?
We all have, like, when they say, oh, we're tired of these labels. First of all, y'all didn't put LGBTQ, all these other letters to label. But let's just put it like this. Things need label. Bread. If I want to go buy bread from a store, if we took labels off for everything about what identifies this and what identifies that, of course, we have labels as human, as different cultures, as nationalities. Those are the things that identify our characteristics, our DNA. everything. So you can't just say we just gonna take the women off, just like y'all just trying to erase the bathroom for us, the restroom, because y'all just want to take. Why we got to have the lady in the skirt? Let's make the restrooms for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Why did that even matter?
One
Because
stall.
right, and then two, it's about comfortability. Women, unless you, I ain't even going into who was born with what, but most of our bathroom stalls are closed and we are installed. We don't have urinals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you carry that male part, then you need
penises.
to,
because women don't have penises.
Women don't have penises, and we don't get them folded in, you know. And so it's all in all, you have to, regardless of whatever happens, you still have to tell your mate. You can take the name, you can try to erase this whole woman, you can erase us, you're going to try to erase us. But when you are with if you are a trans woman trying to be a man, and you're going to have to tell your partner until they can come up with something where you can have a penis. They do, I think, have that, but to where you can provide sperm that includes your DNA. You're going to have to tell the person if they want kids, why you can't.
Yeah. Like I was telling you before, like on the dating profiles, how like I saw on a lot of men's profiles how they have, I want this, that, and that. No gold diggers, no so and so. Women born as women, and it was like on every dude's profile that I kid you not, I'm not even exaggerating. Every dude's profile I went across said women as women, and I'm thinking like, is this a big problem? Everybody getting catfished out there?
You gotta nowadays say that because you may not know, because some people who are trans, you would never know. Now, I do think it's interesting. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Do y'all know what FINA is? It's FINA. It's the federal, the Federation of Swimming or whatever, for like professional like swimmers. So they had recently, I think it was like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, passed a thing where they said that transgender women were not allowed to swim in the women's meets. And that was such a big thing, like, oh, they're transphobic. And I was like, but it's not transphobic. And they're saying, oh, because that doesn't mean that, because I guess there's a swimmer from here that's really known or whatever. But let's be honest. And they're trying to say it's not fair. But we all know as women, the reason why women and men are not in the same sport is because their testosterone production has them at different athletic abilities than us. So I understand the person is transgender. I have no problem with them being transgender, but I do have a problem with you not understanding that your physical prowess is a little bit different than that of a woman. Your wingspan is a little bit different than that of a woman. So when you're swimming in a pool, biology and science tells us that it's a little bit different. And even they said in their statement, like, biology does say there is a difference in their abilities when it comes to swimming. I don't understand why it's trying to make it to they're transphobic because they don't want to let this swimmer swim.
Because a lot
but they said they were going to look at literally creating a heat for transgender people. So to me, that they're trying to accommodate.
And you know why that's going to be hard? Because this thing about, trans, it's not many of them. It's not a lot of them. The trans people, they don't even have enough people to even make that a meet. So it's like to the fact that speaks to me volumes. There aren't even enough trans people to even be in these trans communities for you to make these meets, but y'all get things like that. Y'all get laws changed like that. And it ain't even a lot of you don't even compare to even the amount of women on this earth. I don't get it. And then not to mention they get into these arenas and they dominate. They win everything. And they're like, oh, well, they just need to get their weight up. No, I can't get my weight up because we got different types of weights. Dude, lady, I don't know. But
and to put this in parentheses, and people ain't gonna like it, I think it's very interesting that we have now created anti-hate bills for LGBT communities. We created for Asian Americans. We've created for everybody, but the people that are consistently done wrong by the US of A.
The
I think
Asian
it's
had, what was that? They had a good like 3 month span, probably longer than that. I don't know. Trickles of things going on here. We got a whole history. Shit still, what's the boy that just got shot up now? The 25-year-old that just got shot up by the police. We got all of this stuff going on consistently, and they still don't want to give us nothing. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think the way, I don't know what I don't know why they have so much I guess it sounds wrong, empathy for the trans community to make all these things.
They got the scratch and they got the backing. They got the scratch
Yeah.
and they got the backing. The
And don't get me
LGBT,
wrong,
they are a big organization. They have lobbyists. They have people, and not only that, they have many males behind them.
right. And
I
that's
hate that, but they have men control a lot of things. And when you can get them gay or not, even as a gay man, you got more rights than a woman and a black person.
exactly.
One of those things, nobody gets to take your autonomy away from you. That is true. When it comes for trans people, you have the right to live without being abused. You have the right to live in your truth, to it before you say that you're, you have the right to be you. Absolutely. That other person on the other end also has their right to their own autonomy and their right to choose to be them and to have their own choices. It does not go away because you are now entering the room. And that's where the hypocritical part goes against it, because you're like, love has no labels. It's me, I'm me. I'm 100. I should be me 100%. Yada yada. But you say, oh no. But no, oh, you want to be you? No. Because it's not, if I don't get what I want, you can't be you. That is incredibly hypocritical, and it's wrong. And the fact that we get to that it's like swept under the rug because of the power.
exactly.
It gets to get swept under the rug, and that's wrong. Oh, what you
So,
said, like I saw like Macy Gray when she like said her response to it. It was almost like one of those, I'm not gonna lie. It was one of those things where it was just like, I'm sorry you feel the way you feel. I didn't mean to make you feel the way you feel.
but I said what I said.
but I said, and I'm so tired of the wanting to be politically correct, and the fact that y'all want to cancel her, or first of all, I don't even know what Macy Gray been at anyway.
I was like, I don't think she making no hits no way.
But she just be popping up.
Don't be doing Macy like that. Don't be doing Macy like that.
No,
you can't
be
cancel
popping up
somebody
and
that
they
ain't
be,
got nothing to cancel.
She be popping up and they be doing interviews with her. You be like, damn, they're gonna make.
Because Macy don't care if y'all cancel her. She gonna still do what she do.
She's still gonna, and I love that about, we are entitled to our own feelings and thoughts. We have to construct them to your beliefs and how you think so it could fit your narrative. No,
I'm
if
not
this is the way I
responsible for your
believe,
feelings.
and you're not gonna always like what somebody says or how they believe. So why y'all got her on the show?
We done had, as black people, done had a whole how many years of not nobody giving a damn about how they feel about nothing, even though the blatant disrespect is out there every day for us to see, and nobody seems to care about that. So,
well, here on the P-Pod, we have our opinion. It may not be your opinion. We may not even all have the same opinion of the three of us, but you are entitled to your opinion.
Exactly.
What it
And I
is.
want to give this little disclaimer. Because y'all done seen a foot, a hand, different human body parts that did not match mine. My little boy has woken up and he is always, he got to be on here somehow. So, in the mix and everything like that. So just for the viewers,
yes,
I got a young child that y'all.
But that's how you know we real people. This ain't Hollywood,
right?
And we want to reiterate: I love everybody. I don't love everybody, but I respect everybody until you don't respect me.
I respect everybody's choice.
Yes, everybody, your choice to do whatever you like. If it don't interfere, I don't care. But let's be clear: I expect that same respect back.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Want to know y'all thoughts on this real quick. You know.
Oh, what is that? That caught me off guard.
Oh my God.
We both did it at the same time. I was like,
Look, so do y'all know who this is that then busted wide open?
What is that? I'm sorry.
I can't quite see his face.
Wait, his face.
Is that a woman?
I
No,
thought
that's
I
a
had the
dude.
banners. Okay, so this is supposedly Lizzo.
Shut
Oh,
the hell up. Oh,
I knew it was a
sorry,
woman
Lizzo.
though, because I didn't see the thing.
Sorry, Lizzo.
So take a good look at that picture before I remove it. And
Oh my gosh.
look at the detail.
I'm bad
And
for it.
Is this a concert?
Listen, I'm about to say this might be my classic line. Spread your legs and say you are
My lady.
This might have to be my classic line.
Now I will say this, bitch, before you even go into it. I have to respect the fact that she is that flexible. However, that don't mean I do it.
I mean, and at least it's at her concert and one at a basketball game.
I don't know. I agree with that either.
I would say this. Y'all looked at the picture and y'all seen the intimate parts between the legs, right? I mean, it was a little something over there, but we just seen the discoloration. And it was something a little whitish.
It's stuck in my head. I can't see it. I can't unsee it.
Let me put it up again. Bam.
No.
Bam. But what is that? Or maybe that's just shiny from her. Maybe she had a waxing or something.
She did. Pigmentation. It happens with us black folk.
But yeah, so I would just say as much money as they have, because back in the day, didn't Kanye say they was bleaching a-holes? I'm sure they could do something with the inside of the leg. Like you had to. Did y'all not do no practice show? I mean, that might have been some improv where she just said, because she got the whole big girl thing. But that looks like, yeah.
Let's be clear, BG. From everything we know about Lizzo, what makes you think that even if they did a practice show, that she would listen to what they say?
But I would say this, from what we know from Lizzo is she gets very emotional too. So this photo can probably bring out your emotions. So it's like you have to be aware of a lot of stuff that you're doing, especially as a celebrity. And I get that y'all are living under a microscope and you can't barely do anything, I guess, but when you decide to spread your legs, bust it open, wide open for a real one, you know what I mean? It's like, I would think you'll be a little bit more taken care of or something, because that just does not look good. And I mean, I guess she doesn't care if it does or not, but it's just.
So what is the context of that though? Why was she doing it? Was it like a song that's like about that? What's the context? Like, I feel like you can't just go out and just like, what's the was there like a particular song that goes to? Like,
it was a concert, like she was just performing. And
no, but like I said, you could have like a sexual song, like like Tank with the When We, and like is it a song like that, or was just this is part of your regular dance routine that you always just do this?
Probably just the routine. I'm thinking it's just the routine because she do a lot of. I mean, she's very flexible. She's very energetic. She's very.
And maybe that's what it was. Maybe she's trying to.
Yeah, she like when she performs, she be going all out.
And I will say this: I do like her confidence. I mean,
she seemed like a cool chick.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even trying to really be shady, but I didn't know who. I don't know that person. I never seen this person.
I never seen that man before in my life. He could pass me on the street.
What that was, and who did that, and why you was on the stage like that.
Because now I will say this, it's debatable. I had a conversation with my significant other recently. Well, no, when he recently, it was like last year. And we had a conversation about Lizzo. And the belief was that Lizzo does not have confidence. I said otherwise, that she had self-esteem. And he was like, no. Because any person that actually had real self-esteem would not be out there doing the stuff that she does for attention. A woman that has that confidence in herself, well, the discussion was a woman that has that confidence in herself knows that she doesn't have to do that much to be seen. She's going to be seen regardless.
You know what? I agree and I disagree. I kind of agree with both of y'all on that thing. I think her confidence is dependent upon the the backing she gets with that confidence. Because to me, I've seen before, like when she say like, you know, I'm a big girl, I'm proud, and this and that, but then she get mad when somebody call her fat. It's like, or like, you know, when she did the booty out, when she did the booty out at the basketball game, and, you know, she was like, because it was confidence, you know, it was for my confidence and this and that, but then you crying because people had something to say about that. I think sometimes if you indeed, but see, to me, confidence is, I don't know. I kind of agree that, because I think I had the same discussion with my mom when she was like, they just mad because you confident. I was like, you can't be confident and then cry about somebody saying, doing something. You know, you can't, to me, you can't be, say you're confident and like, I stand on this with my 10 toes, and in a minute somebody scrutinizes it, it's like you fall apart. Because to me, if I'm confident, if I say I'm confident, I like me or something like that, and somebody come up and then they say you got a waterhead, I'm gonna say, and I like my waterhead. Somebody come
That's
around
what I
and
was gonna
say,
say. But when you're
oh,
that confident in yourself, you know you could be cute in a brown paper bag.
yeah, and absolutely. And I think she likes herself. I think she thinks she's cute, but I think there's also some insecurities there. I think she is still insecure in a lot of ways, but I don't think she does the things that she does as far as what she does for because she's not confident. I think she's an entertainer. She does it because she's an entertainer. But I
It
think
could
her
be for attention
reaction to
too,
the
because it keeps
scrutiny
their
tells me,
names.
yeah, I think her reaction to the scrutiny tells me that she's not as confident or
And
as,
then too,
and that's just self-esteem.
doing things like that kind of keep your name popping. Like,
That's her job. So it's like
exactly.
I
Like,
could see that part, but it's like I don't think she does the things she does for comedy. I think some of it, and I think in some ways that's where I kind of come when it comes to the man perspective about why women do the things that they do. They not doing it for that necessarily. It may be I think she's an entertainer. I think she's a good entertainer, and that's why she does the things she does. But when I see her reaction to her said confidence, that's when I'm like, no, you ain't as confident as you say you are. Because
Well, the more that I see Lizzo, the more I kind of agree with his statement, only because at this point we're saying she's an entertainer, but I feel like oftentimes her antics overshadow her talent. She is very talented. Like if you actually hear her sing, she can actually sing.
she's a
She
great
plays a
performer.
flute and be doing it with the flute. You're like, oh my God, this lady is playing a flute. How many people you know outside a band is still playing a flute
And
right
be
now?
twerking too.
Right, and be twerking with the flute, but you don't even see that anymore. All I see is her antics on at the basketball game, which to me I was very disgusted. There was kids in the crowd.
So much.
and
Then you're doing all this other stuff where you're always in this thongs and doing. I was like, I get it, like that. There's a picture of her when she came off of a plane, and I don't know what she was doing on the plane. Like, who wears it on the plane? Nobody wears it on the plane. There's just stuff everywhere. Like, I just don't understand. Like, for you want us to pay attention to your art and to your music, you're overshadowing it with the shenanigans. It's too much.
And that's
And
what
it's
makes me
almost you're
say
doing it
that,
because you want to be
yeah.
seen.
Yeah, and that's what
you
makes me
don't
say
have to
she's
do
not
all that.
confident, because you put the picture out there with you in the little bikini and stuff like that saying I'm confident, and when people don't do this for you, then you want to cry. If
Yeah.
you're confident, you're confident. You don't need me to do this for you if you are confident. And that's why I'm like, you know, the way she reacts to people not backing her, that's what makes me feel like she's not confident. I guess I could write off the stuff she does as her being an entertainer. But it's like if she did all of that and then she said, oh, and somebody has something to say about it, and she was like, and then I'd be like, you confident. But then the fact that she cries after people don't applaud her, that's what makes me be like, nah, girl, I think you still got some work.
Yeah. I mean, and then not everybody wants to see it. Everybody not going to want to see every inch of your body, or especially those intimate parts. That is very the in between your legs. You know what I'm saying? That is, come on now. That's just almost like you open the crack of your ASS. You know what I'm saying? And showing. I mean, that damn near look like that's what the crack of her
I didn't
ass
know what
looked
that was.
like.
I'm so sorry. I apologize for calling it a dude because I thought.
I mean, you ain't. I didn't know what it was. You know how like when and then like drag queens when they perform and they do them splits and they break down and they bust it wide open. I just feels like that looks like the crack of somebody's behind, and that's the opening to your woman parts. So that does not look good to me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
So
we are getting to where it's like things are getting, because I think I saw something else where Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B performed WAP, and they were doing it, and Meg was doing what? Can I do that motion? It's gonna be, but like was doing like, you know, the head motion, and people were kind of in the comments were like even discussed it with that, like, y'all come on, bring it on back. Like, can we get back
So
to
here's
like
the
the actual
thing,
talent of stuff? And
right? And I think we're losing
yeah.
the grace of women sometimes. So the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it is, I know you. To me, I agree. You are a free soul. You can do whatever you want to do with your body whenever you want to do it. However, comma, there's some things that are specifically made for a home. They're
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily made for general consumption. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're getting to that point because we're so, I can do what I want to do. We feel like just because we can do it, we have to do it in front of everybody else, and we don't
Right.
have to. So I
Right.
don't even understand why we have to go all out. I actually got tired of, before Lizzo even came out, I got tired of every female entertainer coming out here with these freaking leotards on.
Nothing
That was
wrong with
getting on my nerves.
leotard.
I was tired of seeing leotards. I was like, leotards is not the only costume that you can have for a concert.
What? Don't they hurt? I don't know. That's like the most uncomfortable thing to me. I don't get it.
Chloe Bailey did a performance, and she had some like a leotard, but I think maybe one of the legs was a little longer. But when she bent over and shook her butt in the camera, it looked what people thought to be a tampon string hanging from her butt.
Oh.
But it was actually, I believe, maybe some jewelry from her leotard. But looking at that, it was like, oh my gosh, that's what people was like, dang, do she have a tampon string? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming from the crack of
Sex
her
is
butt.
not the only thing that sells.
And I think it does take away from the art. I think there is nothing wrong with being, as a person who, like, I'm telling you, I'll be like, look, it be out. I done have my boot cheeks out before, you know, elsewhere or whatever. But I think it is a certain allure to being coy as a woman, a certain allure, I think, to having that mystery, to, you know, waiting. If you want, I do agree with, you know, sometimes I hear people say, you know, women like, I don't want to get looked at like I'm just a sex object. I don't want to get looked like I'm just a sex object, but you're showing all the sexy parts, you know. And then it's like, oh, like, but wait a minute, but he didn't respect me. It's like, you know what? No, you're not responsible for the way he did. But you know, first impressions are everything. Impressions are everything. We are visual creatures as mammals. We are visual creatures. If I'm distracted by your body, I can't hear your art. And that is like, it's driving me crazy even now, like with R&B, like with people like Summer Walker. Why you got to hide your boobies out when
It's
you
a certain je ne sais quoi, as they used to say back in the day, about keeping a mystery.
yeah.
And that was the thing. Like, y'all know, we're all from the same, we're all around the same age. We're same age.
Mhm.
So that whole 90s music, none of them were naked all the time. And they
Baggy
sold
shirts and baggy
right. And they sold a crap
maybe a
ton of
little bit of
albums.
Leah
And their music was a little bit better than the music is now.
Yeah.
But that's because they focused on their craft versus I need to be naked.
And they were also developed as artists. They had people behind them that were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want you to look, or this is what we want you to do. You know, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I love my people like Doja Cat. And I do think when it comes to rap and stuff like that, I don't mind if you're raunchy and you're ratchet, me personally. But when it comes, like, I think sometimes when it comes to, because I think rap and stuff like that, yeah, it's an art to it, and yeah, there's a melody to a certain point to it. But when I hear my R&B and when I hear my other stuff, I want to hear the song. I want to hear the lyrics. I want to hear that talent part of it. I don't care about all of that per se. I want to hear that talent there is there. And then I'm distracted when I hear I'm distracted when I see you out here and you looking like you about to you Lil Kim, but you about to sing about love. But you looking like screw me. I don't
Do we
know.
have love songs now?
We do. And you know, I heard, oh, that brings me the idea when I heard after the verses and they were like, R&B is dead. R&B is dead. It's like, There are
It
people
is.
out there. No, it's R&B is out there, but they don't put it out in the forefront. They don't, because you got people like her, you got people like Lucky Day, you got people like Ari Lennox, you got people like Victoria Monet. You got people. They have a bunch
But
of
Ari Lennox, one of her most popular songs, isn't that the one from
Shea Butter Baby.
huh?
Shea Butter Baby.
Yeah, but that's the chick from DC, right?
Is she from DC? I have no clue.
Yeah, but she's starting to, like, she's, you know how some of them, like she said, they not putting them like up front, but
Jasmine Sullivan.
Pressure. That is her. Her song Pressure.
Pressure.
Have you ever I thought I used to be bopping along in my car to that song until I actually listened to the words. I was like, this song is disgusting.
And you know what? She got some songs, even some songs on her Shea Butter Baby, like this song Pop. And this song is called what is, how does that song go? But she got this song called Pop, and it was like if I pop this tea for you to, would you promise, would you make a promise that you made me your wife? Like the way she's singing. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a fine line between, I think women should be able to talk about their sexuality and their sensualness. Absolutely.
Yeah, but she's an interesting person because she got mad when an interviewer said something about her sexualized content, but all her content is sexualized.
That's true. That one is a little bit
Here we go.
So don't use her as an example.
Here we go with the conflict of things.
Yeah, man. That's true. That's true. That one I don't understand. Like,
but there are some people. Her is a good one. She still does R&B. There's actually this girl who I cannot pronounce her name for anything in the world. She is Asian. It's like now Yasha something. And she has some beautiful songs. I thought it was a black chick. I'm not gonna lie. When then I saw her, and I saw her name. I was like, oh, huh?
You ever heard of Snow Allegra?
Yes, she's good.
Snow Allegra. That's a good one. It's like, but they don't put it out there. And I only discovered these people because Amazon gave it to me. Like, oh, recommend it. It's not like they plan it. Not that I listen to the radio because they just play the
XM radio plays it on the Heart and Soul channel.
Okay. Yeah, so it's there, but it's like you just gotta find it. But yeah, you're right. Like me personally, I don't mind raunchy lyrics, but it's I but I do still like a good love song. I still like a good because if you think about it, honestly, back in the day, just because they was a little bit more lyrical gangsterish with it, they were still talking about raunchy stuff every freaking night and every freaking day. I wanna freak you, baby. Can I lick you up and down? I mean, they all upon it. They were talking.
And we so young.
They were talking raunchy then, but it's just like now, like everything's so visual, and I think because like the whole
Adina Howard
is just that. You say what?
Adina Howard.
I'll be a freak until
I was in third grade. I never forget.
One I will take you around the world.
I never forget that and I hope some of my Indiana folks see this because y'all was on that slide in it had to be third or fourth grade, and all I was saying, let me lay on the line. I got a little
freakiness inside.
Because I can remember being on the curb going pump like she did on the.
And I'm, and Kelly, I ain't had cable. I used to tell you to record it for me on the VHS tapes, and that's when I had to watch. So I didn't know where this song was coming from, but I was looking at them on the slide like I was in, like it was a concert, and it was the words they were saying. And then when I heard that, especially when I got older, I'm like, oh my gosh,
we was listening to this.
And why were they singing that on the slide? Those girls. Like, so that's
the problem is all the good R&B artists right now don't even get shine. You got people like Jasmine Sullivan who blows her throat out, and she never has really made it as big as she should have.
Man, she should definitely be bigger than she is.
Yeah, she's starting to get the recognition. Now,
she got better PR people now too.
Yeah,
because Melanie Fiona is the other one who blows her throat out every single time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. I don't always want somebody that's screaming all the time. That's why I can only do so much Beyonce.
I'm not a fan. Not in the Beehive over here.
Yeah, for real. It's like, don't get me wrong, bangers. I like her to a certain extent, but it's like I can't never get. But then again, I'm a type of girl. I love people like Amy Winehouse. Like, but I like more of those like raw, and I like older music, like Sam Cooke, like Otis Redding, like I listen to jazz. I like more of like that soulful.
John Coltrane.
Yeah. Oh.
Man, we're gonna have to have us like a little
You know what though?
like a jazz review video.
Right, honey.
That would be
now
dope.
the one person I do love that does scream, don't judge me. I love me some Fanny. I love me some Fantasia.
Oh,
Fantasia, she could kick them. When she kicked them shoes off, I'm like, I'm in for a show. She got to get it down.
You know, I was Fantasia from Idol.
yeah.
Her song, when even just her singing on just the Idol, I used to cry like, have you ever reached a rain? Yeah. So ladies, this is our closure. So Miss LB Shari went on a trip to Panama. And we're going to get into this natural, real body, cute photo of her. Because I thought this was so cute. I actually like this boy is messing up my avocado. Sorry. And I'm saving this for salad. You know, avocados.
Avocados from Mexico. I'm sorry, I always hear that in my head.
But so there's LB in her glory, got the background view. I'm loving this bathing suit. She also had another bathing suit that was really cute. And this is her with her. Was it your friends? Any of your family went to?
Yeah, my sister is on the A.
Okay. Let me take this.
And my best friend. My sister is the darker one on the A.
Okay.
And the lighter one on the A is my best friend, and then I have another friend on the end.
Okay. So, Leo, can you tell? I've seen that you had put up that you had some shenanigans happen in Panama or on the way or however went. Can you please share with us about your
girl? It was one big shenanigan from jump. It's so funny. I have traveled, and I'm gonna say this disclaimer first. I feel every person, especially Black young people, should have a passport, and you should travel out of the country as much as you can, but you have to travel out of the country at least once before you die. Mm-hmm. There is nothing like the reception that we get in other countries that we don't see here. Going to Jamaica is one of those things that almost makes you want to cry, because the amount of love that you get there that you do not get here is so unreal. I have never been to a bar. You know how when you go to the bar and sometimes people will just ignore you at the bar, ignore you in the store and do all this other stuff. The first time I went to Jamaica, I was so touched. I didn't know what to do. Like literally, we walked up to a bar. A Caucasian couple was already at the bar. The dude stopped talking to them and went to me and my Black friend, was like, welcome home, sister. What can I get y'all to drink? Oh, wow. They were pissed. Don't get it twisted. Wow. And that happened pretty much the whole time I was there. And I was just like, I love it because we don't get that at home. We don't get anybody that loves us like that at home without thinking you're going to steal something. Mm-hmm. So it was just like this amazing experience. And I've experienced that a lot of times I go out of the country. People give you more love out of this country than we get here. Mm-hmm. So that's my disclaimer. Yeah, but it was shenanigans from jump. We had a 6:00 in the a.m. flight. I have flown out of this airport every single time. BWI, I hate y'all, just so y'all know. We flew out of this airport. We got there. We woke up probably 2 a.m. We got there and we waited for 45 minutes to an hour just for the airport shuttle to even get us to the airport. By the time we got to the airport, we pretty much were going to miss our international flight because they were like, oh, your luggage needs to be checked in in the next 10 minutes. And the line went in a circle around. And I had to kind of do some shenanigans to talk to the Black lady, like, please, we're going to miss a flight. And I was work. And so she's like, I'm going to break y'all in line. Just don't say nothing. Just walk behind me. When I walk, y'all walk. So we walked behind us. She got us checked in. We finally got on the flight. We got there. It was a mess too with the hotel. And then my sister she went to the spa and they gave her a wax. She did a wax and a facial and they burned her. So when we came back, she had burns on her chin. It was rough. Mm-hmm. We also had some issues. Now I have to get another passport myself because my passport was lost on this trip. So Delta, please find my dang passport. because I'm pretty sure a Delta employee has it, and they just because it was one, and I love my case. My best friend bought me a passport case that said "Citizen of Wakanda." So instead of saying U.S., you put it on. It looks like you were Wakanda, and it had that on the front. And so it had on the front, and it said "Citizen of Wakanda." But unfortunately, he had a credit card slip in it, so I put my credit card in it. And I know what happened because there was this crazy lady on the plane with me. First of all, if you're traveling with 6 kids,
ooh.
You need to make sure that you book your trip in enough time so you know where your kids are sitting on the plane. Her kids are spread out all around this plane. She's complaining about how Delta put her 5-year-old by himself. I was like, ma'am, I said, you know, you have the ability to pick your seats, right? They don't let you pick your seats. Oh, she's like, I said, I don't know what airline other than Southwest who doesn't let you pick your seats.
Right.
So she made me and my friend,
right?
Right. She made me and my friend move several times so she could rearrange her kids around this plane. And during that time, my passport dropped. And I heard it, but I didn't think anything of it. And it wasn't until we got off the plane and I was like, my passport's on the plane. That's the drop hurt, the sound I heard. Literally, they was like, oh, we didn't find your passport. I was like, y'all lying. I know you found my passport because they had that credit card in there, which I canceled that same night. So you didn't get nothing from me. So sorry for your shenanigans. But it was just, Delta broke my liquor.
I just saw a thing today.
I don't fly Delta.
Luggage.
No, Delta's the best airline, honestly. Spirit is garbage.
Well, yeah,
I love American. Me personally,
Delta used. I used to when I first moved to California. Delta was like the main airline. I don't even think I had ever heard about Southwest, but Delta was the main airline that I was always flying. And when I tell you I had issues, I used to get credits. I probably still got a credit. I mean, well, it ain't valid now, but they would leave my luggage, lose my luggage. It was always a problem. And I was just like, man, I just can't do Delta no more. But maybe I'll give them a try another time.
I stopped flying American. I used to fly American everywhere when I used to go back and forth to LA. I stopped flying American because American stayed tearing up my luggage every single time. The last time I went to American, they ripped my whole luggage was missing the zipper. The zipper just gone because the zipper was broken. And they gave me such hell about it. So then I flew Delta the first time I went to Panama, and they broke my luggage, and Delta bought my luggage immediately. They was like, here's the catalog of all the luggage we have. What do you want to buy? And they rebought me luggage. But I normally don't have issues, but I always have issues going through ATL, which is part of the reason why I don't like that city anyway. But ATL, every single time I go through ATL, Hartsburg International, there's a problem. And they literally broke our liquor after giving us shenanigans in the airport about how we couldn't take it. And the rule is if your thing is see-through, apparently you can do it as checked when it's in the little sealed bag from the duty free. And so if it's clear and they can see through it, you can take it. But one of our bottles is clear, one is not. But they didn't tell me. They kept saying, no, we just need your bag. You can take it with you. It's from the duty free. It's through the second part of the check. They're like, oh, you got to take that to your luggage. But y'all got our luggage on the carousel to go to the plane. And well, you could just tell them to get your luggage back. No, they said, we can't get your luggage back. I said, I didn't think you could. Why the hell did he tell me that? And then the girl got a whole attitude with me. And I said, girl, you about to get me banned from TSA. You better get out of my face.
So how was the food there?
Oh, great. Ain't nothing like, because I hate guacamole because I don't like avocados. That's why I was laughing when your son was getting your. I hate avocados. I hate guacamole, but it wasn't until I went out of the country that guacamole was good. And I was like, oh, okay, it tastes better when you're in, Spanish countries. It tastes different. So I will eat it there. But the food is great. I recommend it.
We always get kind of good guac here, but we got a lot of Hispanics around here too.
I saw some of them. I am in Arizona, but they just wouldn't.
You know what? I've tasted Hispanic food in Arizona. It wasn't that great. It wasn't. Yeah. It was like, y'all right here by the border. How is it not good?
But we're going to Jamaica next summer, so if y'all want to add on, Michi and Kelly.
I won't mind going.
Right, because I haven't been to Jamaica.
But I haven't
really been. I've been to like Cozumel, Mexico on a cruise. I haven't actually had that much travel experience. I've been to a couple places, but that's it. But hopefully that will be changing. Also, I saw the view, so like that looks really nice. How's the water? Did you get in any of the ocean type of water? Did you get in the water?
Mm-hmm. They have A very high tide. And the midday, their high tide is high tide. I mean, like high tide. You don't want to go out there. You ain't coming back.
Ooh, is it cold? Is the water cold?
No,
or
it's warm. It's always warm.
Love about southern. That's what I love about like tropical place to be is warm, like salt water. Oh,
And that's the difference between like when you live in the US, our oceans, we pollute them so bad that they are just terrible. Like when you're in LA, that water is not blue by any stretch of the imagination. But when you're in those Caribbean countries, you see, y'all been on a cruise, the water is like this pretty, like cerulean blue that we do not have anymore. And it's sad to look at it like that. I'm like, we just don't care about our oceans.
flaming hot bags and bug juice bottles up in the damn.
I don't
Coca-Cola bottles
know.
floating.
I don't know if it was the salt in the LA like ocean or
The dirt.
but when I can't go in that water like that because my face was stinging. And my friend, this is when I first got to California and we went to the beach and she was like, oh my God, your face. I had all these little red bumps like just covered on my face. Now the crazy thing is it went like away or something, like not too long after I got out of the water. But yeah, I can't really be like letting
It's
that water
something in our water because LA, when I was in Long Beach, their beach used to make my legs itch. Like the water. If you walked in the water, your legs would start itching. I don't know what it is. It's something in our water. It's just we probably polluted our ocean so bad out this way.
Probably.
Yeah, so So well, thank you for letting us hear about your trip to Panama. And Kelly gonna be taking a trip soon, so we're gonna have to have that on the show as well.
I try to take pictures. I'm terrible with taking pictures.
You know what? Yeah, because she went on a trip one time, and I'm like, "Where's your pictures?"
I'll just be experiencing.
Okay, so will you please take a few pictures so we can get a view of the background and
Right.
you maybe I was here, like type of thing.
I promise.
Memories. Yeah. So, ladies, this concludes our show today. Once again, my name is Jametrice Thomas.
I'm KellyB.
I'm LB Shari.
And we will see you next time on 3 Ps on the Pod.
Bye.
Deuces.